Y'all gonna write us the fuck off, man. But we'll be back. And let city down, let each other down. We'll be back.
Okay, bro. I'm good. Bro, you okay? I'm good, bro. You geeking, bro. I'm good. Bro. Bro, get hold of me. I'm good, bro. Bro. Are you crying, bro? No, bro. I'm good, bro.
I'm putting it on the diamond.
You ain't charge your battery all the way, bro.
Nah, nigga. Let me see.
You just ain't charge it, bro.
Look. Let me see, look. Your shit fake, nigga! You don't got it! You do not have it! Stop putting on the persona for these niggas out here. You don't got it!
You're showing me how unserious you are.
Very similar fashion yesterday. A group text message was sent out to every single Cavalier player from Max Strus. Strus said simply, if you don't believe, then don't show up for work. Strus said this morning that he doesn't think this group is done. Thompson telling me that he just wants every single guy to star in their role tonight more than ever. And guys, Tristan Thompson referred to all those days he spent watching you on Inside the NBA, saying the guys Chuck and Kenny and Shaq have always talked about the role players play better at home, and he expects that to happen tonight.
Basketball fans, welcome back. So the Cleveland Cavaliers threw away a 19-point lead, and the Pacers were able to close out the series in 5. So in Game 4, Donovan Mitchell had a right ankle injury, and he was not able to finish the game. He wasn't able to play the second half in Game 4. Game 5, he came back, and the Cleveland Cavaliers lost the game at home, and the Indiana Pacers are back to the Eastern Conference Finals to pick up where they left off last year. And this year is going to be very different because the Boston Celtics are down 3-1 on the Knicks, and Jason Tatum, he went to get a surgery because he had a partially torn Achilles, and he's not going to be able to play. And the Knicks are just one win away from making it to the East Finals, and that matchup is highly anticipated. I've seen a lot of people having that excitement, and Donovan Mitchell, he's catching that heat. It's a very underwhelming season for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and them doing it at this fashion and this manner, like blowing a 19-point lead, that is the biggest problem. So the Cavaliers being eliminated from the playoffs has been very underwhelming, especially having a very good regular season and getting beat in 5 games is very sad. After a very strong start, the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to build a 19-point lead early in the second quarter, but the Pacers were able to go ahead and win this game 114-105. So Tyrese Halliburton dropped a series high with 31 points in this game. However, other significant contributions came from the other guys on the team for the Pacers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers just had an abysmal night, especially from beyond the arc. And as a team, the Cleveland Cavaliers shot 26% from the three-point attempts, and in this game, they were 9 of 35, so that was the worst. Donovan Mitchell, he had 34 points, went to the free throw line 21 times, and he was 4 of 13 from beyond the arc. Edmund Mobley had 24 points. And, man, those are the two guys who showed up offensively, but it wasn't enough. And Donovan Mitchell, ever since he was drafted in the NBA, he has made the playoffs every single time, but he's never been able to break through and make it to the conference finals. Ever since he was in the Utah Jazz with Rudy Gobert, even with the top-seeded Jazz when he was there at the time, he was still not able to make the conference finals. And this one just adds on to his long list of second-round exits. And he has set a playoff record previously set by Michael Jordan for most consecutive series opener games with 30-plus points. But yet, the thing that matters is making it to the next round. And that is the most disappointing thing with Donovan Mitchell's career. And that's the thing that is going to make him not be put at the level of guys like Tyrese Halliburton or all the other guys. So Donovan Mitchell, he's under contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers until the end of the 2027-2028 season. including a player option in the final year. And he signed a 3-year, $150 million contract extension last summer. So Mitchell has constantly reassured himself that he can win the championship in Cleveland, just similar to what LeBron James did. But yet again, Mitchell, after a promising regular season, he failed to deliver in the playoffs. So that was that was the sad part. And the players who are there with the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're just down bad right now. Even the post game press, you could just feel like their heads just dropped because of this, losing in 5 of the 64 win season. So that's the worst thing. And the Pacers now await the winner of the Knicks and the Celtics, and there's a high likelihood that the Knicks are going to close out the Celtics in 5, especially with the whole Jason Tatum being injured. So that's the sad part, because the Celtics really wanted to go back to back in this one after a very strong start against the Orlando Magic, matching up against the Knicks. And it's just been very difficult for the Celtics, Jason Tatum getting injured, and he's being sidelined for the rest of the season. And there's a high likelihood he's gonna miss a big chunk of the next season. So that's just about it. And it's hard to imagine the Knicks not immediately reaching the conference finals now, because they're only one win away. The Boston Celtics, even if they're able to do the unthinkable and win Game 5, they'll still need to win 2 more games at that. So, and the Knicks only need to win 1 more game. So the 2 guards, Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson, they're going head to head, and they're on a collision course. And even out west, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're up 3-2 on the Denver Nuggets, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors. So it's a winner-go-home situations everywhere. The first team to be able to break through to the to the conference finals in the East was the Pacers, and they're still waiting to see other matchups there. And I'm just excited. I've been keeping tabs with this postseason, and I've been very active, especially when it comes to the social media part. So I'll be making these videos regular, and even in the post-game pressers, you could see, Donovan Mitchell, he said, you're gonna write us off like that. That's how the NBA media works. Mainstream media, they always try to make narratives, especially you'll know the teams that they like and the teams that they dislike. And one thing that I've noticed with looking at the NBA media, even I stopped watching ESPN First Take, all these other shows that come up because you'll see some teams getting talked up. Especially you can see this season we had the Lakers in 5 narrative being propagated by Shannon Sharp, but the small market teams will never get a fair shake, and they'll never get the coverage that they need or they deserve. But the moment you can see, even despite the poor coverage coming from the NBA, you can see the Cleveland Cavaliers had the most successful season post LeBron James. Then when it comes down to in the postseason, you'll not see them being covered, being looked at the way the other big market teams are being looked at. And when they lose, the narrative shifts, and it's just berating them, especially coming from NBA mainstream media. They'll say, the only person who brought relevance to the Cleveland Cavaliers was LeBron James. So you'll see a lot of times NBA mainstream media criticize these teams, especially if they don't have the top stars that they want. You'll never see them go up on the Golden State Warriors, despite the Golden State Warriors being down 3-1. The NBA mainstream media will not berate them like that. But with the Cleveland Cavaliers being down 3-1 and then them getting beat by the Pacers, you'll see the mainstream media go in with all teeth on Donovan Mitchell. They rip him apart. They'll list his postseason failures every single time. But when it comes down to the big stars like LeBron James, after that 2020 championship run, you will see that after the Lakers lost, you'll not see the Lakers getting talked down like that by mainstream media. So you can see that there's a very huge and unfair. It's an unfair situation for these small market teams, and it's something that I've noticed through the postseason. Especially when a star player gets traded to a small market team, you'll see they're always going to be somewhat blacklisted or blackballed when it comes to media coverage. And even if they're going to get covered, it's going to be on a negative light. And that's something that is very sad. And that's the same thing you're seeing even with the Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder. No, a lot of people are not going to talk about the way this series is, the Oklahoma City Thunder versus Denver Nuggets, no, they're not going to get the same breath the way the Lakers and the Warriors get talked on. So that's the big problem. And I must say, even Miles Turner, even came out, even despite after even winning the series, you could see even Miles Turner, he came out and said, he took a shot at mainstream media, and Miles Turner, slammed the media members who all predicted the series will be in the Cleveland Cavaliers' favor, which is okay, but the small market teams will never get a fair shake like that. So for him, he came out and said that, he came out because people, wrote off the Indiana Pacers, but when push came to shove, especially in the first two games when the Pacers were able to steal home court advantage, they were able to go ahead and do that. So you'll see, unfair media coverage, but hey, it is what it is. The NBA media, they're pen pushers. There's been this cold war between NBA mainstream media and NBA YouTube media. So myself being YouTube media, I'll be very, objective in terms of coverage. I cover everything, every single thing I see, and I'm not going to go ahead and go out to great lengths to talk down another team and just to talk up the other one. So it is what it is. There are 30 teams. Just have fair coverage when you're talking about them. I know they're not going to give you like the clicks you want, NBA mainstream media, ESPN, Fox Sport, all those guys. But hey, I mean, there are still teams, and there are still teams that are, enjoying the same privileges similar to the big market teams in terms of the salary cap. So yeah, they're not the biggest draw like that, but they're still good. And I must say, the Cavs, I mean, they're just getting roasted online. I'm going to leave some few things I saw online in this video so that you can go ahead and have a good laugh. But I mean, the jokes are too funny right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get notified. I'm going to be releasing videos of this nature so that you can be able to just interact and talk about this postseason, because it's just been funny. And yeah, man, I mean, the Pacers are the real deal, especially Tyrese Haliburton at the helm. And he's that guy. So the Pacers are going to face the winner of the Celtics and Knicks from the Celtics and Knicks. So I'm gonna stay tuned to that. So I'm out. Peace.
I mean, I think it feels good, but I think we're a little bit like we're greedy at the end of the day. Like we feel like we've been here before. So I don't think like last year we could have been like, man, like this is the first time in a while that we did like. We were just here last year. So I think for us, it's just that focus got to shift. Like we got to be wanting more. And to me, that's what I'm going to continue to preach to the guys. And, I can sometimes sound like, like the I'm trying to kill the party kind of thing, like where it's like, everybody want to be excited. And I'm just like, I'm just like, man, like I want more, you know what I mean? Like that's the feeling that I have. And I want to continue to just get that to my teammates and make sure that we all have that mindset of wanting more, because like you said, we was just here, we did it, so now we have an opportunity to get better.
My dad.
Patrick, what the hell was that shot?
I was wide open, coach. I'm a three-point shooter.
Yeah, but you're not a three-point maker, okay? That's the problem.
So why do they call me microwave? I get hot fast.
No, they call you microwave because you're giving me fucking cancer. Now have a seat, all right?
You hate on a nigga. I don't understand why you hate on me, nigga.
We don't understand.
Show love, nigga. It don't show nothing. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
All we doing
nigga.
is getting money.
Show a nigga some love, nigga.
Wabbly-dabbly.
Niggas out here don't love me, nigga.
They don't love.
This franchise has been down 3-1 before. This group can do it. We got the talent. We got the skill set. The camaraderie is always there. Just got to just go out there and play with our physicality that we play with, and play our brand of basketball.
I mean, this crowd is, this crowd is off the hook. Yeah, it's just, and at the beginning of the game, they turn the decibels up. I've been in here enough times. I know when they're turning that thing up a little bit, and this place was lit. So this was a tough environment, but our guys used the noise and the commotion to narrow their focus, and that's what you got to do in these big moments and these big games.
know you addressed it after the last game, but your dad will be at game starts this season. What did you make of that, and how that will impact you in any way?
Yeah, this is the last time I'll address this at all. So, but I understand the decision made by our organization and the league. I've spoken on it many times. That my father was in the wrong, but at the end of the day, it's my dad. So I'm not going to ridicule him by any means. Still have a lot of love for him. I love him dearly. He's going to sit at home and watch the game, and he'll be just fine. We talk every day. It's going to be totally fine. But again, we understand the decision, understand the repercussions of it. And it is what it is, but that's my dad. And so growing up, I think like every other kid, if your dad claps for you too loud at a choir concert or whatever the case may be, you might be a little bit embarrassed. And I think that's what it was at one point in my life. But I've gotten to the point now where my dad is who he is, and I love him for who he is, and so does everybody who knows him. So, this is just one thing, and we're not defined by, one thing that happens in our life. Same thing, I'm not. We all make mistakes, and, we move on, but he'll be fine. He'll watch from home. I'm sure I'll be getting texts at halftime and calls after the game. So, it is what it is, and we move forward.
You mentioned being unable to reach that level. Why do you think you were unable?
I think they presented a physical challenge that's probably the first off the bat. And to their credit, they kind of did it longer they could sustain longer than we could. So now that's not all physical, Chris. I think that part of that is mental, right? The mental strength that's part of our growth. We obviously got to get physically better, or arrive physically better to compete with a team like this that plays at this high intense pace, and they're up here, guys. Like I know from the data, I know from watching film that they're up here and they can sustain it. I just give them so much credit for being able to sustain that type of intensity for so long. Now we got to find a way to match it. And we didn't. We weren't. I think we're built for it. I think the type of athlete we have, we're built for it. But we weren't ready for that. And then the mental part, that we got to get over that. I just felt like we got another jump to make with kind of our mental strength. But I love our togetherness. I love our leadership. I love our maturity, all that. So those would be the two areas. Like if you kind of right off the bat, I think we got to get better.
Ass.
What the fuck is this?